First off, philosophy is a confession. Philosophy is a confession. Go love somebody that you don't like. Hey, what's good, y'all? Thanks for clicking on the link. WTJ Knowledge Drops back with another reaction video for you. More on that in a second. If you're new, welcome. If you're a returning knowledge nomad, welcome back. And I can't express my gratitude enough for your support. Thank you very, very much. I hope you're learning to love somebody you don't like so you can love yourself properly. If you are a new viewer, hello, my name is Wesley Travis Johnson. This is my channel, WTJ Knowledge Drops, where I react to spiritual teachers on my spiritual journey, and I use my real life experience to kind of try to throw some knowledge in here and there. Hopefully you learn a little something. I also want to bridge the gap between Eastern and Western spirituality / religion. When just whatever. Let's be friends, man. Alright, anyways, like I said, this is a request a while back. Not the specific video, but for the specific person. This is Dr. Ankit Shah. And I am going to be revealing energy is the real reserve currency. The dollar, the pound, we're just riding on it. Right up my alley. I'll be able to give some good insights for you guys. So, without further ado, and we'll just let you know. Once the video starts, if you back out, your device will explode. It doesn't matter if it's your phone. It doesn't matter if it's your TV, your iPad, tablet, whatever. It will explode, so do not back out. I swear. Alright, I'm excited to get into this guy. I think I'm going to enjoy him breaking down what's going on over here and let me add into what I can. So let's get into it. And ready. Alright, Dr. Ankit Shah. Energy is the real reserve currency. The dollar and pound, we're just riding on it. Let's get it. I'll see you guys at the end with the final realization, but I'll be here with you the whole time, so I don't even know why I say that. Let's get into it.
The history of money and economics, you realize that India and China jointly produced more than 50% of the world GDP for 1700 years out of the last 2000 years.
That's right. I mean, you guys got colonized for your spices, and I'm pretty sure China invented gunpowder, and of course they've been exporting. So yeah, I can definitely see that. The last 300, us white people are crazy, y'all. We're mutts. That's why. We're insane.
Of recorded human history. That is what 85% of human history. That's how rich Asia was. So whatever happened that happened in the last 300 years, if I may say, a kind of an aberration where the Britishers had this colonial rule, colonies world over, I realized that a lot of loot that has happened.
Those fuckers colonized everywhere, didn't they? I mean, they colonized us. They colonized you guys. Pretty sure parts of Africa. Yeah, South Africa for sure. Australia. Where else? Hong Kong. That's all Britain, guys. That's wild. It's pretty impressive if you actually think about it, how they've spread around. It's quite impressive. I think they have a running joke there that says the sun never sets on England.
Happened from the Asian continent, which was shipped back to Britain, and the British savings, which built most of the Western nations.
They started the East India Company, correct? Am I right on that? Is that still in operation today, and is it still controlled by them? Let me know in the comments. I'd like to know. I haven't researched that.
Including United States, Canada, or Australia, or several parts of Europe. So a lot of these Western nations are built by the British savings of the Indian and the Asian loot that happened during this colonial era that was there. Now, when I'm saying that extreme poverty is approaching the West, knocking the doors of the West, that comes from this particular understanding of economics, where in the last 50 years, the US dollar as the reserve currency has created an economic model where the West assumes the role of financialization of the Asian and the Middle East manufacturing and producing. Mm-hmm. Now, what is going to happen, and it is very interesting to know, in the last 50 years, that is from 1971, when President Nixon unhooked the US dollar from the gold standard, what happened was this particular concept of fiat currency came into force. Along with that, in 1973.
Yeah, it's been all downhill since then, guys. Went away from the gold standard, and now we probably have zero gold. I have heard that China has been buying up as much as possible, and if I can give you guys any advice, I would say you would collect as much as possible as well. It will go back to that. History does repeat itself. The rare precious metals will then become the world's currency. I can almost guarantee it. This fiat dollar is definitely on the way out, like he's saying. And I'm pretty sure y'all put together your own little payment system as well, so you can kind of get away from ours, which I don't blame you at all.
Henry Kissinger sealed a deal with Saudi Arabia in what we call as the Oil for Security program, wherein the entire crude oil of the Middle East, that is OPEC, was to be sold in US dollars, and in exchange, the West, particularly the United States, would provide security to the Gulf. The
reason why we've gotten so much say in all this is because we knew right when the meeting was going to happen, and we dropped a nuclear bomb on Japan twice right before that meeting, because we knew we'd go in there and determine whatever we wanted. And that's how the world currency ended up being with us. It was the nuclear bomb hits. You gotta do something crazy like that. Y'all are too kind.
I'm afraid. That's 1973 to 2023. This 50 years of cycle of dollarization has completely reversed. Reversed in the sense that the role of United States have now completely flipped. In the sense.
This is correct, and honestly, it's on its way getting way, way worse. The way the current president is handling everything. He is obviously trying to dismantle it from inside out, especially when he let Elon and all his little kid friends come in and get in all our most accessible information like there was nothing. They're obviously trying to blow this thing up from the inside out. I don't know if it's a plan with Russia, or if it's a plan with Elon, or a plan just whatever. But they're definitely trying to dismantle America from the inside out, and that's the easiest way to do something. Like if you want to get rid of a business, work there, work your way up, and dismantle it from within. I forgot my point, but I'll remember it in a second.
That the role which the West assumed of just doing financialization of the manufacturing and the actual produce of Asia and the Middle East, that is now in tatters.
Yeah, we don't do any manufacturing over here anymore. Nobody wants to do that shit here. I mean, if it does come back over here, it's going to be robots doing it. We don't have enough people to fill up those type of jobs anymore. I mean, we let the immigrants come in and do all the dirty work jobs that we don't want to do. We are lazy. The new American dream is to get as much money as you possibly can without doing the least amount of work. That's the new American dream. It's quite sad. There's no way to change it. We're already up shit's creek without a paddle. Not much we can do with it. It's the old people in government. They don't care about the future. Yes. Shut up, Wes.
Which means that the world of fiat currencies is going to come to an end very, very soon.
That is correct. Looks like this was filmed in 2022. It is 2025, and the fiat currency is still going strong. But I have a sneaky suspicion they're trying to kill the US dollar in order to launch a US dollar cryptocurrency. I can almost guarantee that's what's heading towards. So y'all might want to jump on that quicker than we can. But it still needs to be backed by gold, and I don't think we have much at all anymore, honestly. I don't know. I don't think anybody does. But I think you guys can take a major step by collecting as much of the precious metals that you possibly can. Put it behind your dollar or your rupee. I'm not sure what it's called there. I'm sorry, guys. And you got to dominate, but like I said, you guys are too nice. Us white people, we're mutts. We don't give a shit. Aggressive. It's wild. I'm not proud, guys.
Does it happen? Well, there's a history of how currencies become the reserve currency status. So before, the baton of leadership passed from Britain to United States, pound was the reserve currency status. Now, how does the reserve currency status change? So two important facts that the world needs to be aware of when we talk about economics is, one, energy is a real reserve currency. Okay?
I wonder how Britain's pound was the reserve currency before the dollar, when they have zero energy production. Absolutely zero. They import 100% of all energy resources. So that's kind of weird.
Dollar or pound, they were just riding on it with military might or whatever diplomacy that they...
That's exactly what it is. Military might. What word am I looking for? Intimidation. It's the MAGA tactic. We've been doing it our whole fucking existence in the United States. And it's just come to a head right now with MAGA. That's like the most gangster politics you could possibly put together. Whatever.
The West did. Alright? Gold and silver is a real purchasing power of the currency. Alright? You can issue electronic entries if we talk about private cryptos. You can issue currency notes. The central banks can issue those. But the real purchasing power is gold and silver. So when United States had this particular role during the World War, where it supplied war supplies to the allied countries in Europe.
We supplied to both sides, honestly, not just one. That's how we got so rich as a country. We supplied both sides of the war and made tons of money.
It collected all the gold in exchange from the European allies. Once entire gold in physical terms was accumulated with the United States and Britain.
That was a pretty smart idea. I wonder who came up with that. They're not remembered or recognized in American history at all, but I think that was pretty solid thinking. Hey, we should just get all the precious metals, guys. I don't know. It still wasn't that. It was the nuclear bomb that did it.
lost the hegemony after the wars, or the diplomacy might, if we call it. After that, with the ownership of the physical gold that United States had, it could impose United States dollar as the new reserve currency under in the Bretton Woods Agreement after the World War. So this is how reserve currencies shift, all right, generational shift of reserve currencies take place. So from 2016, what we are witnessing is a de-dollarization drive by Asia, where
Yeah, you guys do need to get together on the same page, but I don't know how well y'all interact with each other. I don't know if it's true, but I think you and China have a small border, maybe, and there's disputes constantly, and y'all don't have the best relationship with China. Is that correct, or am I way off? But yeah, y'all need to get on the same page. I'm pretty sure there is a new payment method for the East, which is like Russia and China and India and just everybody in the East, North Korea probably. So yeah, I think y'all are making the right steps in the right direction. It sounds like you guys are.
Asia has started collecting gold from the West, gold and silver, precious metals from the West. And as we speak, at this year, that is 2022, India has, literally wiped out, if I say, London bullion stock market, right? And all.
That's fantastic, guys. Congratulations. Keep going. Be aggressive. You can't be nice. Chicks don't dig nice people. I know I got a lot of dudes watching this. They don't want a nice guy. Trust me. Once you start chasing, it's over. She lost interest. For all you fellas, once you state that you liked somebody, you can go on and do your own thing and let her think about it, and then when it comes back around, it comes back around. But when you start chasing and kind of looking for like some kind of, I don't know, chasing, they lose interest quick.
Also the COMEX, right? So the West is passing on gold and silver, or tacit arrangement, or I don't know what that is. But Asia is basically collecting gold and silver from the West. And once Asia has this entire chunk of physical possession of gold and silver in a good, decent quantity, it is very obvious that the dollar is going to lose the reserve currency status. Now, dollar as a fiat currency, all fiat currencies, as I foresee, are going to fall anyways. But
yeah, I mean, it's monopoly money. Especially when we start printing more of it. I mean, around the pandemic, when we had an outgoing president, Donald Trump, print $7 trillion, and then the next incoming president, Biden, immediately printed another $7 trillion. There was so much money flowing around this country, there was no buying power whatsoever. Everybody had money. It was wild. I'll take some more stimulus checks right now. Send it out. I'm kidding.
But what does it mean when dollar loses the reserve currency status? Means that countries which are doing bilateral trade in dollars, say India is trading with Sri Lanka, the realization is, why do we need dollar in between? And what that means is that the endless capacity of the West of printing currency gets suddenly stopped. And once the endless printing capacity of the fiat currency-led Western countries stop, what that means is that
it always stops. It's happened to all of the Western civilizations. The Romans, instead of printing, they used to clip coins and then repress it into more. So we've been creating inflation for a long time, and he is right. I'm afraid the U.S. is on the verge of hyperinflation, but I don't know much about it, so I don't want to get into it because I'm probably going to look stupid.
The lifestyle of the Western countries are going to get a big trip. So this is where this entire prediction comes into being, that the fiat currencies are going to fall. Asia is going to launch BRICS currency, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
That's what I was talking about, BRICS.
India, China, and South Africa. And from what I understand and my reading is, there are 30 nations which are intent on de-dollarization. The BRICS currency would be launched next year, the pilot transaction.
That's what I was talking about, the BRICS currency. How's that going over there? I don't even know. I don't pay attention to economics that much. But hopefully it's going good for you guys and you can get your ass off of our currency and our just whole monetization situation and create your own that's prosperous. You got to grind, you got to be aggressive, you got to step on people's feet, and I think you guys are way too nice for that, so I don't know.
Will start, after which dollar would be gradually ousted from the reserve currency status, which means that the entire social benefits which the United States government and the European governments as well, because Euro also has 20% reserve currency status. So all the social benefits in terms of entitlement benefits, Medicaid, retirement 401k, and all of these are going to have a huge cut, which also means that, if the West has to shift the manufacturing base back home from Asia and Middle East, that means and that end product which is made in USA or made in West has to stand along an Asian, Chinese, or an Indian product. What that means is that it is a cut into salary levels of Americans of around 60%. If you have to stand that competition, right? So it's a massive trim to the Western economy and their lifestyle. So this is what I believe we are heading towards.
All right, I'm just gonna roll on into it. First take, Jake. I like this guy. He speaks. He keeps it real. He's right on. He's right on with all that. And I think you guys are right on too. Just keep collecting all those precious metals, the rare earth minerals. And hopefully when it comes back around, you guys can get the world's reserve currency. But I think you got to be aggressive in war to really dictate. I think that's the key. You have to be aggressive in war to dictate how the money flows. But I like the video, and thank you again if you made it this far. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Thank you for the recommendation, the YouTube subscriber. I forgot your name, sorry. And if you are a newer viewer and you made it this far, I hope you decide to stick around and subscribe. Make sure you hit the all notifications so you stay in the loop and you never miss a drop. Alright guys, I love you, and I will see you in the next reaction. Go love somebody that you don't like so you can love yourself properly. I love you guys.